Well, I killed my KTM. It took a while, but I killed it. Yeah, and this one. So let me set the scene for you, just so you know, so you understand how dumb I was, because this was 100% my fault. It was one of my friends, Bevan, says operator-induced error, or operator-induced failure. So I created the failure, and I'm in Portugal, and it's early morning. It was, surprisingly, it was 42 degrees Fahrenheit. It's freezing cold. I was trying to get up to get going, to get a little bit lower, to get warmer, start riding. And I pull into a gas station to fill up. And the week before, I was in France or Spain, I forget, and I was chatting to a biker, and he said, whenever you fill up, always use the blue pump, because it's the best quality gasoline. It's 98 high test premium, whatever you want to call it. So this is in my head, and I have the helmet on. I look up at the fuel pump, and I see gas, and I see blue, and I fill it up, and I put 15 liters in the tank. I got a 20-liter tank. I pull out of the gas station, I go 800 meters up the road, and the bike dies. Luckily, I go uphill. I turn around and roll back down to the gas station, go straight up to the pump, stick my finger in the pump and the nozzle, and it's diesel. So I go see the guy inside, and he said to me, yes, in Portugal, the country where I speak zero of the language, it's called gas. And gas is called gas, but the last few letters are different. And like a lot of people nowadays, I read and didn't comprehend. I just thought, I presumed what I was correct, and yeah, and now my bike won't start. So then I spent the next 3 or 4 hours, took the tank off, got somebody to bring 20 liters of empty containers, dumped that fuel. I thought, let me try the quick and simple hope, and fingers crossed, everything crossed. Put 5 liters of fuel in it, and fired it up. No good. Took it off, the tank off again, changed the plug out, put the tank back on again, tried that. No good. So next, the in-tank filter. If you're familiar with this bike, it's off the back, and then on this side down here, you have to undo these two connections down here, and you pull the fuel pump and the in-tank fuel filter out. So I pulled those out, and luckily I have a Takemoto reusable inline filter. So I cleaned that out and put it all back together and went to fire it up, and nothing. So pretty much the only thing left is the injector, and I've never taken the injector out of this bike. I honestly don't even, I know I can get it out, but I don't know if I can do it on the side of the road. So I'm about 3 hours in. I'm sitting at a gas station, so this is referring to my previous video. I counted 16 adventure motorcycles pull into the gas station, and not a single one came over. I had the tank off, tools everywhere. Not a single one came over to see if I was okay. And just so you can tell, my bike was sitting like that, so you couldn't see the plate. So they had no idea where I was from. Plus about an easy 50 or so bikes went by, all waved, none came to check. So I don't know if it's a cultural thing, a pandemic thing. It's that guy's on a dirt bike, I'm not on a dirt bike. I don't know, but I mean, they couldn't have helped. But it's always nice to get moral support, when things go wrong. And then by chance, 2 construction workers walked into the gas station to get a coffee. One rode a 350 KTM, but he'd never taken the injector out. But he wasn't from that small town I was in. So he said, let me call a friend of mine who's a mechanic in Lisbon and see if he's ever had this situation before and what we need to do to resolve it. So we call up, we get him on the phone, and he said, yes, happened plenty of times. So he said, what the situation you got to do is you got to wash the tank out. Okay, I'd already done that. He said, you got to change your inline fuel filters. Done that. You need to change your plug. Done that. And he went, okay, so you're good. He said, so now just turn the bike and start it. Won't start. He said, oh, okay, let me tell you how to start the bike when you put diesel through. Sorry, I'm near a road. When you put diesel through the system. He said, turn the bike on and just hit the starter button. Don't twist the throttle at all. And he said, just hold your finger on the starter button until it fires. Once it fires, then let it run for at least 5 minutes. And he said, the fuel, the gasoline will, because it's lighter than a diesel, the fuel pump will naturally pull through the lighter liquid. And he said it'll break down the diesel that's in the system, but the diesel has coated your system. So he said, let it run 5 minutes. Once it's run for 5 minutes, then rev it. Just blip the throttle, constantly keep blipping the throttle. And he said, you'll get loads and loads of smoke come out, which I did. And he said, keep doing that until you don't get any more smoke. Did that. And he said, that's it, go ride. And that was it. So if you are as sleepy or as dumb as me, I'm sure I'll get some ribbing in the comments, but that's how it was resolved. It wasn't a necessary thing to change the injector, but the bike is fine. It took me a few days to think about even doing this video, but since then I've probably done another I don't know, 800 to 1,000 kilometers, 500, 600, 700 miles, and not an issue whatsoever. So it's all good. So if that ever happens to you, just make a note to yourself. That's the process, and just clean it all, and just take your time. Don't get annoyed with it because it won't help. And but it wouldn't have run good, and unless you realize straight away by the gas station, he said you'd be chasing that. He said he had a vehicle in similar scenario, but only a couple of liters went in. He said it took it 2 days to diagnose it because you can't smell the diesel because the smell of the gas overpowers the diesel. So yeah, I guess, I mean, it was about €100 lesson, because obviously a full tank, empty it, partial tank, empty it, full tank, blah blah blah. So yeah, I'll have a look at the videos I took on the day at the time and see if any of them are worthy of putting up. So there might be more after this, but yeah, don't be a dumbass like me. Put the right stuff in your bike. It takes gasoline, not diesel. Note to self: when you're in Portugal, read the whole word. I just read gas, and in Spain the blue pump was the premium, and here that's the diesel, which is next to the gas. And there's some more diesel over there because everybody runs a diesel car. I just spent 3 hours tank off, cleaning filters, changing plugs, killing the battery, kickstarting the bike. Anyhow, good to go now.